Hello and welcome to this Big Blue News. I am your host Carlos and I am joined by Luke, and our first story today features Hispanic heritage. Hispanic Heritage Month has started and we are excited to celebrate the Hispanic heritage in the school and community. Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15th to October 15th. This year's theme is Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together, which highlights the Hispanic and Latinx community's cultural contributions and historical impact. We hope everyone will take some time to celebrate these contributions this month.
The high school auditorium has received funding for much-needed upgrades after the town meeting approved $100 million for the upgrades in the spring of 2023. The auditorium has yet to receive the upgrades. The upgrades include 14 high-end speakers, brand new curtains, acoustic deflection panels on either side of the auditorium, new stage surface lights, and new LED stage lights. The auditorium is scheduled to receive some of the upgrades over the winter break, and it's going to look amazing.
Swampscott High School band director Mr. Roby has dedicated his own pickup truck to years of service hauling band equipment to town events and high school games. Mr. Roby's efforts may have been paid off, as recent fundraising efforts in our community by band boosters and Swampscott's very own Class of '89 could allow the purchase of a new trailer. Unfortunately, the fundraising event to acquire Mr. Roby with a trailer for the band's equipment did not reach its expected goal. Despite being short on income, Mr. Doolett of Swampscott High School TV is searching for means to cover the remaining costs. The band themselves could also participate in fundraising. Mr. Roby himself said the band has previously relied on 5 to 6 vehicles for transportation, but this new trailer will allow the entire percussion line and a few woodwind instruments to be transported quickly.
This year, the students and staff at Swampscott High School are faced with a new schedule specifically selected to be on Mondays. We asked some of the students at Swampscott High School about their opinions on the new school schedule, and some say that the Monday schedule with all 8 periods is difficult to keep track of. Some often say it feels too cramped, and that fitting this so early in the school year was a bad idea. When faculty was asked about the new schedules, answers tended to differ. Some would say how great the schedule was and how nice a change of pace was. However, some would say the homework increase of the students is too much to handle for someone in just a weekend, which should be a time of relaxation for students. When we asked the principal, Mr. Collette said that the schedules were a good idea, and the reasons for the new schedule were that the faculty wanted to see their students more time in the week, because for last year's schedules, some teachers would get 3 times a week and some would only get 2. And when told about student feedback, he said he didn't know the homework issue would really hurt that many students. Already, he replied with that maybe that's an issue they could resolve as the school year goes on. Overall, the experience of the new schedule has been very positive for the school's faculty, but very negative for the school's students. And now we send it over to Alejandro at the sports desk.
The girls' soccer team had their first game at home facing the Saugus Sandchums and had a solid first half, being down 2-0 for a majority of the half, but they got a last-minute goal thanks to Greta Shifkin that led a goal scored by Leah Rogers. The second half, however, was all Saugus as they scored 4 unanswered goals and ultimately beat Swampscott 6-0. In their second game, the Big Blue faced Marblehead on Monday, which ended in a 3-0 loss as Big Blue struggled on offense and couldn't hold a possession of the ball throughout the game. In their third game against Winthrop ended in a 5-0 victory against Fiona Keeney scoring their first goal that set the tone throughout the game. It's been up and down start for the girls soccer team, but hopefully they can carry on the momentum from their last game as they go on a 3-game road trip next week. The boys soccer team is gearing up for their up-and-coming season through the fall on Wednesday, September 4th. Swampscott Big Blue Soccer opened up their season with a Saugus win away against Saugus, coming in at 3-2. On Monday, September 9th, Big Blue Boys Soccer took a tough defeat away from Marblehead, coming in at 1-2. Swampscott's soccer team has been a big thing for the town. High school students love to come out to the games and support the team. Shaking off the defeat, Big Blue soccer team recently came back and beat Winthrop on Wednesday and then played against Beverly on Friday, where they won 1-0, and then played Gloucester last night, where they won 3-0. They now stand at 3-0 with a game against Salem on Thursday at home. The Swampscott girls varsity volleyball team had their first game away in Beverly against the Panthers on Wednesday, September 4th. In the first set, the girls tried their hardest yet lost. In the next 3 sets, Swampscott bounced back and won the game with a total of 3-1. The JV and freshman volleyball teams also brought home a win against Beverly. On Friday, September 6th, the girls varsity volleyball team took on the Revere Patriots in 4 tough sets, but in the end they pulled through with a final 3-1. On Tuesday, September 10th, the girls faced Winthrop Vikings in 4 sets. In the first set, Swampscott came out strong and won it, but in the second set, Winthrop won. Luckily, the first girls came out with another win, with the score being 3-1. On September 12th, varsity volleyball faced Masco and sadly lost with a final score of 3-0. On September 13th, the girls had their first home game against Bishop Fenwick and tried to pull out a win but lost with a score of 3-0. The Swampscott volleyball team had another game on September 6th away in Georgetown but pulled through with a clean sweep and score of 3-0. Big Blue football took on St. Mary Spartans under the lights last Friday at home. Joe Marino, senior captain wide receiver, scored touchdowns for Big Blue and ultimately wasn't enough as St. Mary's pulled out the win 13-12. Luke Sirianni remarked, "We just need to limit turnovers and stay more disciplined." The Big Blue took on Lynn English at Manning Field where they won 20-14, and now I send it back to the news desk.
We thank you for joining us on this episode of Big Blue News. Tune in next time and be sure to like and subscribe.